Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. My apologies, and I don't care if this is bad advertisement. StreamYard is horrible right now. I don't know what's going on, but I know that I tried to go live on time at 4 o'clock. They're just now letting me on saying it was due to some type of high traffic and they're trying to get more resources, whatever the hell that means. So my apologies, but it looks like everybody is right on time. Hey, Yuli. Hey, Nene. Hey, Jay. I know you love these WTF weeklies, and we got a couple of things to talk about. So, yes. So, a lot has been going on, but a lot has been going on in 2024 in general. Now, Jay, I don't know where you stand when it comes to your fellow Canadian, but I'm about to go in. You know what I mean? So, let's get started. Drake, Kendrick, Drake. In my personal opinion, this was about culture versus industry. That's my personal opinion. You can go ahead and roll with Canada. You know I'm about to roll with Cali though. But honestly, I am not a super duper fan of either one of them. I'm just going by strictly off of what I saw. Okay. And the reality is lyrically that last Day Not Like Us, it was a done deal. And I honestly feel like this was industry versus culture. Drake is industry. He is the hot guy. He is the money maker, where Kendrick is culture. And in my opinion, I felt like Kendrick was going to win it. He was just warming up. He gave us different levels as far as different type of music, from Al Green to different things like that. But that Day Not Like Us, that Day Not Like Us, freaky ass nigga, you a 69 God. Freaking ass, you a 69 God. Probably a minor. He killed it. I mean, he destroyed it. I can't say that word. He destroyed it. So as far as I see it, yeah, culture won this time. And is it just me? But when Drake smiles, does he remind you of the guy from the Nerds? Like, I feel like when he smiles, he's like gonna do that laugh from the Nerds, like, I feel like that's what he's about to do when he smiles. He's not an ugly guy, but it's just like he has that corny, nerdy type of smile for me. But yeah. Okay, so wait, you're saying both are sellouts? This is how much I don't know, nor do I care about either one of them, because I don't even know why Kendrick would be a sellout. So you let me know why he would be a sellout. Now, of course, I've heard why Drake would be a sellout, because he's more industry. So, of course, when you're more industry and you have gotten to a certain level, they always say that you're selling out to a certain extent to get to that level. But why is Kendrick a sellout? Y'all let me know. J. Cole is the only one that's culture. Really? J. Cole is the only one that's culture. Is that the case? And J. Cole was smart, honestly, to back out of that beef. He was just like, look, I apologize and I'm gonna keep it moving. But is he the only one that's culture? We'll talk about it. Y'all type it in the comments and let me know. But with that being said, of course, they said Kendrick won. He won that rap, but it was lyrical. He won it. And as far as I see it, I am one of those people where I don't get into the rap beefs, but there's always that one song in a beef that makes me say I don't have to be into hip hop all the time to know when I hear a good hit in a good rap song, what about, beefing and calling people out. To me, They Not Like Us was like ether when it came to Nas and Jay-Z. Jay-Z was industry, Nas was culture. And a lot of people think because someone is industry and they have the fame, they have the money, that means automatically they're going to be better in a situation. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hey, Leo. But yeah, so I feel like Kendrick represented culture. Now, again, y'all saying he's a sellout, by all means, please let me know. But to be quite honest, I wouldn't mind if it just stayed with the lyrics. I wouldn't mind a Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole back and forth. I wouldn't mind it because I think they're both great lyricists. What do y'all think about that? J. Cole and Join the Hearts is my song. J. Cole is definitely talented. He's definitely talented. That's for sure. But there's a lot of double standards in a lot of this stuff too. There's definitely a lot of double standards. I think Nene and I was talking about that in my comment section. But there's a lot of double standards. But I'm definitely curious as to. Let me see. He has 17 Grammys. He's very industry. He just has the culture aesthetic. So you feel like because he has the Grammys, he has sold out? Like let's take it deep. Let's take it deep. Do you feel like when you get to the point where you are winning Grammys like that, that means you have sold out somewhere? So like let's talk about that. He's been saying it on his album talking to who? Kendrick? Yeah, here's the thing. Kendrick, first of all, Kendrick is a Gemini. Geminis, like, they do have multiple sides. They really do have multiple sides. Because even in this song, he was saying that, you know what I'm saying, hide the Bible because God is watching. So I think he has multiple sides to him. Good, bad, ugly, just like, the rest of us do. But let's have a conversation about that. Do you guys feel that when you get to the point where you're winning those type of Grammys, that means you have sold out? Kendrick is all good to me. J. Cole can hasn't Drake fled the country? Back up off my man. Oh my gosh, really y'all. Oh my God. Look at this. Anywho, you can't win all those Grammys without selling your soul. Come on. Okay. So that's how you feel about it. I mean, at one point back in the day, I feel like you could win a certain amount of Grammys and still be not on the other side. But in this day and age, look, I'm open for discussion. Like I said, I don't put nothing past anyone at this point. I'm just based off of lyrics. They not like us, baby. I wanted the grip walk. I wanted the grip walk. I was like, hey. It just hit me more than any of Drake's songs. It just did. It did. It ain't even from me being from California. It just did. Chad, are y'all really about to go back and forth when it comes to that? Or we might have for real. I'm like, y'all really going back and forth about this J. Cole? Isn't he married still, or did he get a divorce? Cause child, they done said he can allegedly they had their issues too, but I'm hoping he's still married to the girl because he been with that girl since college, if I'm not mistaken. Same with he not fooling me. He a Gemini too. Yeah. And have you noticed Geminis, they can go real dark, real dark, or real religious. It's like it's no in between with them. It's either one or the other. J. Cole did the right thing. Right. I do agree he did do the right thing, but I would love to see lyrically how they can compete with each other. Like if they did have a battle, maybe a battle for charity or something. I would love to see that flow. I don't like Drake. Y'all know DMX already told us about him. What did DMX say? Did I miss it? What did DMX say? And I'm trying to figure out, okay, so Nene, you said Team Drake. Why, if both of them are sellouts, why were you Team Drake? You just felt like he had the better songs? Let me know. And I hope it's a reason like that and nothing personal. But then again, if it is something personal, by all means, tell me. But yes, I'm curious to know why you don't like you don't like, I'm not a Drake fan, but I always rock with whoever is getting ganked up. You have got to be kidding me. Until They Not Like Us, wasn't everybody Team Drake? Even industry guys was being Team Drake. Even The Game, who is from Compton, and that's another thing I need to talk about too, because a lot of people have been saying he low key has been having issues with Kendrick, because remember, Game was supposed to be the king of Compton. He was supposed to be that dude. Kendrick came along. He, apparently he wanted to perform at the Super Bowl. He was not allowed to perform at the Super Bowl, but Kendrick was. There can be some low key tension there. But people was talking about Drake and was pro Drake and Drake until They Not Like Us. And then everybody was like, oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me see. Y'all going in. Hold on. Up, Lansky's in the building. What up, brother Lansky? Let me see. We in here. J. Cole knew it was gonna go past rap. That's why he backed up. Yeah, and it always does. Doesn't it always? It always does. Yeah. Nene gonna have to let us know why she feel like good old I better find your loving Drake was being ganged up on. I need to know, because it seemed like even industry guys, even when Kendrick was coming back at him, they were still saying Team Drake. Hell, The Game, because he don't like Rick Ross, was low key, and apparently he was implying on his page that he was Team Drake, allegedly. You need to see the interview that DMX did on the Breakfast Club back in the day. Yeah, DMX called a lot of people out, including Jay-Z back in the day. But apparently they made up before he passed. Charlamagne the Guy said the industry been trying to get rid of Drake for a long time. Really? How so? How really? I feel like he's one of those guys who's been untouchable. Like, and it seemed like everybody from Cameron to Mace to The Game, all of these people was talking about Team Drake. The only ones who was against Drake either had a beef against him or they had a beef based off of his looks, if you know what I mean. Look at New Jack City. So, Lil, what's good? I cannot stand her. Game is cute. Game is cute, but the music is mid. I've never been. Why this? I'm sorry, you guys. I typically this thing goes faster, but the system is acting up. StreamYard, get it together. I've never been Team Drake. Only reason he was popular was because of Lil Wayne. A lot of people feel that way. And honestly, I liked him better when he was just pretty much singing. When he was, I better find your loving, I better find your heart. I was like, okay, we can rock with that. But then he, I guess, for some reason, felt like he needed to be gangster. Yeah, people hate on Drake hard. What I'm not talking about Cam like that. I'm just saying he was Team Drake, just like he was. Mace was Team Drake too, until They Not Like Us came out, and then Drake and his comeback. They had no choice to say I'm gonna have to go with Kendrick, because they did not like Drake's comeback. They feel like Drake been winning for too long. That's why. Well, let's talk about it, because then if that's the case, there's other people who have been dominating for so long because there's really like no one else that they're allowing to be at the top, but they not hating on them like that. If they hate on Drake that hard, they not hating on Beyonce that hard. They not hating on Jay-Z that hard. So I'm confused. The Game diss track to Rick Ross was fire. I don't know why they don't like each other. It could be because, of the original, the real OG Freeway Ricky Ross, who's from out here. It could be that, because a lot of people didn't like that. But I don't know what it is about it. But honestly, I don't think Rick Ross is going to respond. But to me, how do y'all feel about Game coming after Rick Ross after a Kendrick win like that? Like, do you feel like that's also low-key dissing Kendrick or low-key shading Kendrick? What do y'all think about that? Jeremy, but it was so unnecessary. Oh, Jay. Yeah, I know, Jay. You've been saying that. I know you've been saying that. Game last hits was with Drake. That song 100. Keep it real. You want to know what's like, Chris? Are you looking for Game out there? No, no, I'm not looking for Game. I'm not. But let me also keep it very honest. I I am not. I'm very old school rap. I really am. Like you talking about somebody who will in a heartbeat put on Funky Four plus one more, Treacherous Three, Cool Mo D, which Cool Mo D was part of Treacherous Three, Houdini, um, Tribe Called Quest. I'm very old school in my hip hop. So none of them. And again, you would think because I'm from here, I would literally be like buying Kendrick stuff left and right. I have never bought a Kendrick album, just like I've never bought a Drake album. I just haven't. But I'm not checking for Game. I don't know if a lot of people are checking for Game. And it seems like he hasn't really been out there for a minute. But I don't know what's going on with Game, but I do know this: his manager, Whack 100, seems to be getting more attention in the Game. If I could just be 100, you hear more about Whack 100 than you hear about the Game, and I think Whack 100 is still the Game's manager. So yeah, but I don't check for him. But then again, I'm not a part of this new hip hop era. I think the last album that I listened to from beginning to end, and it was on heavy rotation, and I could not stop listening to it, was The Minstrel Show by Little Brother. And that was a long time ago. So that should just tell you how I'm like old school with my hip hop. They hate on Drake because he's mixing for some odd reason. People think light-skinned men are weak, but the same men worship mixed women. Yes, we talked about that. I remember that conversation. I don't know why J. Cole is mixed also. Both J. Cole and Drake have mothers who are not Black. Okay. And you are absolutely right. The self-hating Black men out there who love their racially ambiguous women, they love the women, but they can't stand the men who have the same look. New Jack City. I didn't like you anyways, you pretty mofo. That's their vibe with it. But they don't hate on J. Cole like that, though. And he's mixed too, and it is impeccable. He's impeccable with his pen. So I'm confused. Maybe because J. Cole keeps a low profile. Maybe because he does keep a low profile. Is Drake arrogant? Also, we got to keep that in mind. Maybe behind the scenes he's arrogant. Maybe behind the scenes he may be hating on others. We don't necessarily know. Let's see. It's like they want all the gatekeepers gone. Well, didn't Cat Williams say 2024 is the year to reveal and the year of truth? He said that in January, and he ain't lying. We not even in June yet. We ain't looking for Game in NY either. You so silly. Game went at Rick Ross because he was trolling Drake online. And why does... And this is what I'm talking about. I don't think it's because he was trolling Drake. I think he felt this was a time for an opportunity for him to be able to get some attention and get some buzz. Because Drake is a grown man. If he wants to respond to Rick Ross, let him respond to Rick Ross. He don't need you to defend him. Did J. Cole dodge a bullet by apologizing? I mean, a lot of people are saying because he knew it was going to get personal and he just didn't even want to bother with that. That's apparently what they're saying. 50 Cent was also on Drake's side. He was not talked about Kendrick's diss track at all. I thought Kendrick did respond to, 50 Cent did respond to They Not Like Us. I thought he did. I could have sworn he finally responded to They Not Like Us. A lot of people who were Team Drake had no choice but to respond to They Not Like Us. A lot of people did. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it was. Even the ones who was hating, like, DJ Vlad, who felt like he was like, I didn't like the mix of the song. I know. Matter of fact, I'm sure you guys heard about DJ Vlad saying he didn't like the mix. And a professor from Princeton, a Black woman, said, this is not your debate, sir. You need to back up out of it. Y'all heard about that? And he decided to tag Princeton, saying, wait a minute, professor is saying this, and how do your students feel? You say that to students, and said he was going to call on Monday. I can't stand Vlad. I cannot stand Vlad. I don't even know why people still deal with that dude. I cannot stand him. Like at the end of the day, what he did to that woman over a freaking rap beef. Over a rap beef. You decided to try your best to get that woman fired. I can't respect it. I cannot respect it. Let me see what you guys are saying. 50 mentioned it, but he did not hype it up the way he did the Drake records. He was Drake when okay. Well, I don't necessarily look at 50 Cent as someone to take seriously at all. He trolls for a living at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like he trolls for a living. So a lot of the times I can't even say whose side he's on besides sometimes just being a rebel without a cause. When was the last time we was able to take what he says seriously? I can't. Chris, tell me you roasted Meek Mill, Sandy Fro. I have not seen a Sandy Fro. Oh Lord, I have not seen a Sandy Fro, Lansky. So after They Not Like Us came out, next thing you know, apparently Pow 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 was outside of Drake's mansion in Toronto. Like literally not even 24 hours. Not even 24 hours, I think, that this came out. Do y'all think it was a publicity stunt? Because I'm just saying, what are the odds that this happens right after and nothing has literally like this ever happened before? It was almost like it was done to shift the energy. Like seriously. And how many people, like, let's just say, and then literally, if you guys see in one of these, it says the pow pow comes after Drake's ongoing rap feud with Kendrick Lamar, but then says, but the motives remains unknown. Come the hell on, y'all. And then apparently now he done had like incidents of trespassing and stuff. It's just weird. What do y'all think? Is he pulling a juicy? Is he pulling a juicy? I'm just saying. It just seems a little odd to me that literally after the internet went crazy on They Not Like Us, you got people doing, you know what I'm saying, TikTok dances to They Not Like Us, is playing in the clubs. I think it's number one on Hot 100s at one point. And then this comes out. Are you pulling a Juicy Smollett? I'm just saying. What you guys were saying? Meek Mill trying to start a beef with 50 Cent. His career done already. Is he really trying to start a beef with 50 Cent? He didn't learn from Ja Rule. Like, he didn't learn from Ja Rule. Let me see. This whole beef is up. Yeah, but a ritual for who, Jay? You think for both of them? You think for both of them? Juicy goes straight to jail, Smollett. Hip-hop album sales been down, so they need a rap battle. All album sales have been down. Ain't nobody checking for music like that no more, at least not the popular music. They sat up there and literally only wanted certain people on top, and then now you don't even have development in people that are, you know, new people that we are wanting to see, willing to see, because they literally just took everyone out that had a different feel, a different vibe. I think people are done. I think people are done. They're done with music at this point, at least on the more popular level. Meek stepped up at the wrong time and wrong rapper. Nah, it's real. He has other beef too. Drake? So you think whatever his real beef is, they did that strategically? Is that it? Maybe they did it strategically, so then that way they would assume it has something to do with Kendrick. Because I'm like, let's be real. How many people from where Kendrick is from who would take that beef that serious are living in Toronto? It was just, to me, just out of nowhere. So maybe if he does have other beef, they use that time to do that because they felt like it was going to give attention to Kendrick. And maybe that's the case. I just found it to be suspicious, and immediately I did a side eye, and I was like, this sounds like some Juicy Smollett stuff. This sounds like some Juicy Smollett. Oh yeah, from what I heard, it was something to do with XO Weekend crew out here in Toronto. Is okay with the XO Weekend crew. Okay, so is this like I mean, like a neighborhood thing or something like that? Is Drake really about that life, y'all, or he has people around him who are about that life? You know what I mean? Like I'm confused. And maybe again, they did it because it would go straight to them thinking about Kendrick possibly, or a Kendrick fan doing this versus someone else. Will Ailey finish the? Oh my gosh, you are a mess. Finally, because the Knicks haven't won a championship since what, 73? Gosh, I hope they will. I hope they will at this point. But then again, if y'all do win, you know rent going up. Drake and the Weeknd have something. What? How do y'all know? Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. I don't pay attention to the music industry now, because to me the music industry sucks. So you mean to tell me Drake and the Weeknd got a beef? Is the Weeknd from Canada? I was turned off by the Weeknd with that horrible show he had on HBO, and I know some of y'all saw my reviews on that horrible ass show. Hey Shayna, how are y'all? How are y'all? Drake is affiliated with the people he got around is real. Okay, so the people he got around is real gangsters. Okay, got it. Why are you talking about the past? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, we just got to call it what it is. I'm just saying. But with that being said, yeah, again, for the lyrics and the beats and how everything was flowing, They Not Like Us to me is my ether for 2024. Okay? It is what it is. Yeah. Oh, you so sweet. Look at you. Let me see. Yeah, hold on. I'm so sorry, y'all. StreamYard is having a moment. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. Thank you. Gosh, this StreamYard. This is a Royal Rumble battle rap. So Drake is basically, really? I just can't take Weeknd had a show. I'm out of the loop. You don't want to see it either, Leo. Go to my video section. Weeknd had a horrible show on HBO. When I tell you, one of my thumbnails, I literally said F you. I was not pleased. I was not pleased that type of garbage got greenlit. So yes, he did have one, but they cut it short and it's never coming back again. Thank God. As far as what you were saying, Jay, it is very hard for me when we have people who literally are making money, having talent, and then they want to resort to being affiliated with neighborhoods, because I don't want to necessarily say the G word. I just don't understand that. It's like going backwards, because apparently Chris Brown is a part of the Red. And I'm like, you are talented, you make millions of dollars, and you want to do that? I don't know. I don't know. Drake is protected by a crew called Galloway. Oh, see, you would know. You would know. You live in Canada. Wow. Okay, I'll check out your video. Yeah, check them out. At first, they tricked me. I thought it was going to be a good show, but then by the second episode, I was like, what the hell is going on here? All right, y'all. So yeah, Team Kendrick. Freaking ass nigga, you a 69 God. I'm telling you, I loved it. I loved it. They Not Like Us. Anywho, with that being said, let's get on to this shit. So everybody is talking about Shawnee and how Shawnee said she never loved Shaq. And Shaq replied, I get it. I wouldn't have loved me either. Wish you nothing but the best, or something like that. Why are people shocked that Shawnee said that? Like, let's think about it. Why are people shocked that Shawnee said that? Now, because of all of the uproar, she has backtracked and said it was taken out of context. She pretty much meant that she wasn't in love with him. But in my opinion, she said what the hell she said. I don't think she ever loved him, in my opinion. And I don't know why people are shocked about that. Let's keep it real. There are people out there, plenty of people out there, who marry for the sake of financial security. Nothing else, nothing more. So I'm lost. I am really lost as to why people are making it this big deal. Like she probably did go into the situation knowing she wasn't in love with that man, but saw his bank account, saw who he was, made sure she had kids by him so she can be taken care of for the rest of her life. And notice she didn't apparently fall in love this time, in my opinion, until she was able to build her own empire off of Shaq's money. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, people are literally losing their mind, like, oh my gosh, she never loved him. We're not gonna act like Shawnee is the only one. We're not gonna act like Shawnee is the only woman who has literally married a man and it wasn't for love. That happens all the time. We also have men who marry women and it's not for love. So I am I the only one who is looking at this like, why are people tripping? I was like, and okay. Like, and okay, I know some people were saying during Basketball Wives, the first season, she looked like she was about to cry with Gloria saying that, her sister Laura, I guess apparently the rumor was she allegedly cheated with Shaq and how she had to be feeling something because she was almost like she was crying. I don't think that had anything to do with Shaq. I think that had to do with thinking that Laura was her friend and Laura decided to betray her. I don't think it had anything to do with love. I think Shawnee probably was very well aware what Shaq was doing and she didn't care as long as she was able to live that lifestyle. That's just what it is. Hi, T. Hey, Ruby. Crew out. Oh, Lord. And she built it off of Shaq's name. I bet she still uses it for entertainment. Well, apparently she no longer uses his name. But here's the thing. You have been Shawnee O'Neal for 2 decades at least. Everyone's still going to know you as Shawnee O'Neal, even with you marrying this guy. But let her tell her, she said, no, I loved him. I just wasn't in love with him. It felt different with the current guy she's with now. I don't know. Like, I think all of those women who are around that circle, in my opinion, they had their motives. They have their motives, just like the men have their motives when they end up marrying them. Like, unless you're dealing with someone who they have been together since high school, before the fame or whatever the case may be, that's one thing. But this is not Shawnee and Shaq's situation, just like it's not a lot of women's situation. They meet them, they come across them. I'm sure Shawnee, but this is my opinion, she's an LA girl, just like Juan. I am sure she placed herself in certain settings to make sure that she met certain men. But that's my opinion. I just don't understand and see the hype on that shit. Drake is well protected. So does that mean he's also well protected outside of Toronto? Yep, he's a gatekeeper in Canada, basically. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that because again, I don't know Drake like that. Yeah, she wanted to come up. Yeah. Yeah, Gloria and Laura. Well, do y'all consider Sacramento? Aren't they from Sacramento, or is that Matt Barnes? Y'all consider Sacramento the Bay? Do y'all? I feel like they from Sacramento, or are they from Hayward? I can't remember. Yes. Shawnee secured the bag. I ain't mad at her. She's old school heifer talk. Well, that's what I'm saying. So why do y'all think people are really like, oh my gosh, she said she never loved him? I would take an educated guess to say about 90% of these women and men who are marrying into money or whatever the case may be, that situation is not about love, not real love. Maybe for the love of money, but not real love. Wait, didn't her pastor husband told that choir member to be quiet? I think that's him, wasn't it? Was that him? Because I don't even, what is her last name now? Is it Henderson? I don't know. But was that, because they kind of look alike. Okay, so wait a minute. So you're confirming that. So the guy who told the girl who was hollering in the stands in the choir, telling her to hush, that is her husband. That is her husband? Now that's interesting. That's interesting. Drake is also protected by Jay Prince from Houston. Is he paying people out here in the USA to protect him too? Matt is the bae. Okay. I'm just hearing this story because she did the woe is me when she first got put on. You talking about Shawnee? Okay, so Ruby, it's Henderson. So you're saying you went to his church? His church is in Atlanta? Really? Interesting. Child, I ain't know who Shawnee was until her show premiere. I just knew he was married. I knew who Shawnee was because, I'm an LA girl. And of course, she was present when they was winning those back-to-back championships. And she's from here. So I remember her. And she always back then had like the cute short haircut. But they also used to do, remember MTV Cribs? I feel like Shawnee and Shaq did an MTV Cribs back in the day when they kids was like little kids. So yeah, I knew of who Shawnee was. I was shocked when she did Basketball Wives and she was actually going to be on the show because I was like, well, that's kind of crazy. But by then she wasn't married to Shaq, so I guess it didn't matter. But I figured she wasn't going to get the top Basketball Wives on that show for that reason, because when you dealing with the top basketball players, you're not representing yourself, you representing him. All I seen from Shaq is him dating child. Now, but my mom lives in Houston. I visit her and went to, okay, so his church is in Houston. Okay, but he's the one who told that woman to shush in the stand. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think about him telling her to be quiet? I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, that means that she constantly does that. Now, interesting enough, as soon as he said that, she did hush. So I was like, did you have the Holy Spirit in you, or were you just trying to get attention? Because as soon as he said hush, all of a sudden she stopped. And I was like, that's a very controlled Holy Spirit. I never got into Basketball Wives. I saw one episode only. I remember Royce. Yeah, they did Royce wrong. Leo, it was so iconic. So many seasons of greatness. Yeah, those first couple of seasons, definitely Basketball Wives was good back in the day. That is for sure. But yeah, y'all need to stop tripping over Shawnee. Y'all need to stop tripping over Shawnee. Shawnee pretty much said what a lot of women and a lot of men do. They are in a business relationship. Bottom line, that's what they do. You know what I mean? And I'm sure now she can put her guard down and really fall in love because she done secured her bag over and over and over again. And I think, honestly, the only reason why, in my opinion, that she's backtracking and backpedaling, saying it was taken out of context, because she has kids with this man. She has kids with Shaq, and she doesn't want her kids to be affected by the things that she said. Because I would look at my mama crazy if my mama put out there, I never loved my father. I would kind of look at her crazy too. Like, okay, so then why was you with him for so long? Why did you have us? It wasn't out of love. So I think that's the only reason why she backtracked. Other than that, bye, Shawnee. So shout out to Club Shay Shay. And let me also, before I get into this, today, the Janet Jackson was born. Happy birthday to Miss Janet Jackson, okay? Happy birthday to that lady, the mother of all mothers. And happy birthday to Ralph from New Edition. I believe they both have the same birthday. So happy birthday to both of those legends, okay? So yeah, and happy birthday to all the Tauruses. I've been slacking on my happy birthday, so I'm giving a shout out now. Happy birthday to all the Tauruses, to all the May babies. Now, we're going to get into Club Shay Shay and Kel Mitchell. Did anybody see this interview? Am I the only one who have seen it so far? Because it was a pretty good interview. Shout out to Club Shay Shay Shannon Sharp. He is definitely getting all the good interviews lately. Even if, he's thrown under the bus, he's still getting good interviews. Kel Mitchell, Interesting enough that he decided to do this interview, because I haven't heard about Kel Mitchell in a minute. I don't know if he has something coming out, but I find it interesting that after the quiet on the set, a couple of people are coming out right now. And Kel had literally like a 2-hour interview with Shannon Sharpe. Kel, I must say, like, he comes off as very likable, very humble. He said he has rededicated himself to God. He talks about his ex-wife, y'all, and oh my gosh. I mean, he talks about when he got into all that or whatever, and when he was super young, he ended up getting a girl pregnant, and she ended up taking care of it, if you know what I mean. And at that point, they end up getting pregnant again, I think he said, and they end up getting married. When they get married, she lets him know that that first child that they got rid of wasn't his child. Did you hear what I just said? She said that first child that she got rid of, it wasn't his. And she told him that after they got married. All right. He goes in down like a rabbit hole of drama with this girl, that she not only cheated on him multiple times, she got pregnant another time with another man's child while they were married. Apparently she has, you know, created a wedge between him and his kids because he decided to finally like leave her alone. And she said that it's not gonna work like that. Like, if you leave me, pretty much I'm gonna destroy you. Now, this is all from Kel's perspective, okay? And he didn't see his children for years. Apparently, allegedly, he said she was a scammer, had to go to prison for, you know, like real estate fraud and some other stuff, and then it ended up being a situation that the guy, one of the guys that the ex-wife cheated on Kel with, one of the guys, and she ended up having kids with that guy. Him and the ex-wife got into a lot of drama where they both was probably going to have to go to jail. That guy called Kel and said, could you take in not only your children, but my children with your ex-wife? I'm telling y'all got to listen to this story. Y'all have to listen to the story. I was mind blown. He stayed with that woman through thick and thin. When I tell you, then let an evangelist tell it, the woman put some type of root on him. Where he had to get delivered because apparently she put some type of root on him. So, of course, you know, as soon as this came out, the ex-wife spoke on it. And she's saying it's a lie. Now she calling him gay, saying she done caught him allegedly with a man. I just have a feeling he's opened up a can of worms, but he seems to be at peace with it. He said he has forgiven her and he's remarried. But I will say this. At one point, he said that his daughter especially did not like him, did not care for him because of what the ex-wife would constantly put in her ear. Let him tell it. The daughter is now seeing the mother and seeing the mother for who she is. And now he's reconnected with his daughter. Now we have Kel's side. We have the ex-wife side. I would like to know at this point, you just got to give receipts if that's the case. Give us receipts or let that daughter actually speak out this time around. If he's claiming that they get along now, let her speak on it. But when I tell you it was a really good interview, he talked about how he got into it with Kenan because he was stressed out over his relationship because he got married really, really young. And Kenan and Nick and them didn't really understand it because they were still being kids, having fun while he was trying to play husband and daddy. It was really good. It was a really good interview. And it really, for people who are faith-based and grounded on, you know, God, it really kind of tells him what he went through. And he doesn't seem bitter at all. He just seems like he's telling his story. And he said he had to say out loud that he forgave her. And now, you know, he's moving on and he's praying for her. But yeah, it's interesting. But of course, the ex had to talk about it. But I just find it interesting that Kel is coming out now. I find it interesting that Kel is coming out now. You know why I find it interesting that Kel is coming out now? I find it interesting because Lori Beth, Lori Beth, Lori Beth has come out of the woodworks now. Okay. And she is saying that Mr. Dan Snyder showed her you know what and had phone you know what with her. Okay. And when I tell you, you guys, I can't even read half of the stuff on this. I can't read it at all whatsoever because it gets graphic. And she talks about this was around her 19th birthday and how literally he would show her clips of those type of videos on the computer and how she would go over to his house and how they would give each other massages and how y'all got to read it for yourself. But she has come out now. Interesting enough, though, I'll say this. What I find interesting about this situation is that Dan just came out, literally came out maybe a week or so ago, saying that he was going to sue Quiet on the Set for defamation about the SA implications. And then literally a week or so later, we have Lori Beth giving these claims. It's graphic, y'all. You may want to check it out. But it's graphic. And when we were talking about Quiet on the Set, a lot of us was talking about Lori Beth because she represented for the big girls and she was one of the funny ones, the original OGs, and we hadn't heard from her. And baby, I must say she ain't really aged well. So of course Dan is denying it, saying he can apologize for a lot of things, but that's something that he can't apologize for. I'm curious to see where this is going to go. And it's interesting that she has said this after he is trying to sue the production company for Quiet on the Set. So yeah, do I believe her? It's damn near possible. Because when you really think about it, a lot of those people, especially from back in the day, you notice they're not really saying anything about him. I don't even think she was there for his Lifetime Achievement Award that he got for Nickelodeon. I don't even think she was there. So there definitely could, where there's smoke, there's fire. You just never know. You just never know. It could have been that he may not have done something with the boys, but maybe he did with the girls. And then she said that he showed her a clip of something like that with a girl giving heads up to a donkey. Read it, y'all. Read it. It's insane. It's sick. It's crazy. So yeah. Go watch Kel. But I just find it interesting that all of these original OGs from Nickelodeon and all that are now like coming out. Even if Kel didn't even talk about, the scandal or whatever the case may be, it's like, why now? Why are you doing an interview now? I enjoyed the interview, but I'm like, why? You never know. You never know, because it's just like, good grief. A lot of them didn't what, bro? But yeah, so with that, and then all of a sudden, this girl, Victoria Justice, I don't know if she was on Zoe or one of those shows, but that's another thing. Now she's coming out randomly saying that Dan owes her an apology for his very large ego. And how, I'm sure he could take back things that he did in the past if he could, but he still owes me an apology. I just find it interesting that all of these Nick kids are coming out right now that didn't say anything at first, but now they're saying it. So I'm wondering if just you got a lot of PR stuff going on, or you just have a mixture of the PR media control situation and people finally speaking their truth. Maybe. Oh, a lot of them don't age well. Yeah. Lori Beth didn't age well. She did not age well. But again, if she went through that stuff, I could see how she could be going through, some trauma or whatever. And there's a lot of things that she's going through in her life. But yeah, she had her own show and was on. Okay, she had her own show. Okay. All right. Well, she decided to speak out not even 24 hours ago. And again, we got Dan who came out, then Lori Beth, who's now saying something, to Kel having a Club Shay Shay interview with 3 million something people watching, and Victoria Justice coming out. I mean, people coming out the woodworks. They are. How did Dan have all this power at Nickelodeon? Makes you wonder, huh? It makes you wonder. Yeah. Makes you wonder. But on that note, y'all, that's the end of the What the F weekly. We haven't had one in a while. I know we've had like stuff here and there, but at the end of the day, that is the end of it, you guys. I appreciate you guys coming. Messed up your childhood. Everybody says that. Don't let it mess up your childhood. Don't let it mess up your childhood. But with that being said, you guys, I love y'all. Thank you guys for listening. And thank you for watching. With that being said, please continue the comments in the comment section. What do you guys think about the things that I talked about? And with that being said, I will see you on my next video. Toodles.